Hello there and welcome back to Build with the Boys. We've got for you today issues 75 to 78 of Fanhome's Build the Ironman. Now, as is the trend of Ironman, not a lot to do in this, but I'm alright with it. I've given Ironman a hard time over the past 18 months. We're coming to the end of him now. And that is just the nature of this beast. There never is much to do in any of these issues. So in this one, we are building the shoulder armour twice. So we build it in 75, we build the opposite side in 76. So it's just a mirror build. In 77 we are building what is going to be ultimately the shoulder joint. It's going to fit inside the chest, and it's going to hold the arms in place. Very little to that. I mean, it's literally 2 screws holding a case together. And then in 78, we are doing the right shoulder joint. So we're going to get more bits for the box, but this is going to attach to that shoulder joint. And that's it, which making a ball joint for it. So I'm not expecting this to be very long. I'm really not. That's all we've got for the main build. We also have got, though, in this one, we've got premium base number 9. Now, for those who are not building premium base, you don't get a magazine. You literally get, it's a set of instructions. That's it. Now we've completed all of the outer cases of the premium stand. That took a long time, so that was 6 months doing that. So it took half a year just to put those parts on. So we have been building this for nearly a year now. But finally we're putting the battery box in. So we've got quite a chunk that's going in here. We're putting a battery box in. There's a stand as well. There's a little support piece. So we will film that. I've not been filming the last couple of premium stands because ultimately I've just repeated the same thing 6 times, which again is a running theme of Ironman. If you are not building Ironman and you think about building Ironman, it is a bit of a conundrum for me, because if you're asking me, is the model good? Yes. Do I think it's worth the money? That's debatable. As a build, is it fun? No, is what I've got to say on that one. It is a conundrum for me, because I can see this model is huge. It's beautiful. It's really nice. It's a very intricate model. It's gorgeous. And I can't fault that. I can't fault the quality of the parts. I can't fault Fanhome service. I can't fault the accuracy of the model. None of that I can fault. The only thing I can fault is there's just not enough to do. You wait a month for this to turn up, and I think even a long Ironman pack is about 10 minutes tops. So for that, that's what's done it for me. And that's not going to be exclusive to Ironman. It's just not. I think this is the Robocop build, which I assume will be going to Fanhome as well. Is going to be identical. It's going to have the same thing. You're going to spend the best part of 18 months building legs and arms, which means essentially you do a 9-month build and then you just repeat the 9-month build again. There might be slight variations in the legs or the arms, but ultimately you just build it all, then you just mirror the build and do it again, which is, it's not for me. It's not for me. There's a degree of that with vehicles where you're putting the 4 wheels on, but beyond that, no, I think that there's a lot more going on, whereas it just hasn't, I don't know, it's put me off building figures, and it's my own fault. I mean, I should have given it more thought going in, because I mean, naturally you're gonna have to build the legs twice, you have to build the arms twice. But my main critique of the Ironman model is I would say this is an 80-part build spread over 100 issues. I think it's just spread way too thin. I mean, there are issues of this where literally I was able to do them in under 10 seconds. Under 10 seconds, I could take the part out and you just clipped part to it, and that was it. And as a hobby, I think that's the issue. So if you're just buying it as a model, yeah, great. If you had the whole set and built it in one day, you'd be fine. You wouldn't even recognize that. But as a hobby, as this is what I do to enjoy, this is I build as a hobby. There's not enough hobby there. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. But we're going to get on with it. I'm going to stop my moaning. We're going to get on with it. And again, we will be adding, we have got the chest piece from last month, so we will be adding shoulder panels here and here, which go over. So we're going to start adding some red to this now, so it looks more like Ironman. And then the last 2 parts don't connect to anything. So we'll put that away, and then we'll do the premium stand. So I'll stop my babbling, and let's get into it. Okay, so this is the entirety of pack 75. Now, all we're going to do is this very long screw here. This is going to go in there like so, and we're going to screw that in place. There's only 2 screws to go in. That's the entirety of them. These are plastic, they're not metal, so don't be looking at them and thinking, wow, that's some shiny metal. Ain't, it's plastic. So we're going to screw this through here, and that should hopefully hold this in place. Now, again, if I've got to critique, I can critique the quality, but the one thing I will say is the holes notoriously don't really line up on a lot of these parts, but this one seems fine. This is going to be a real quick one. Right, so that's in. No, it's not. Shut up, Scotty, don't need to talk to me. A bit more. Right, so now that's in. Right, so there we go. I got this part. It's stiff, but I mean, I don't want this loose. I wouldn't advise having that loose. You want it stiff. Next thing I'm going to do, this is a push to fit. In here like so. He says that don't look right. Let's have a quick look which way around this goes, because that don't look right. No, it's right. It just looks a bit weird. Yeah, okay. So more of the grey goes down like that. It was right the first time. I think we should line it up properly. There we go. Okay, so that's that piece in. Now, next thing we're going to do is we're going to run our chest over. Now, this is an EM screw, so we're going into metal. So I am going to use the 3-in-1 technique. It's a bit of a weird one because I'm touching plastic to metal. But this is how they say to do it. And again, it's easier to stick to what they say. So this is our chest piece. So where this is going to go, this is going to sit. You see there's a hole here. That piece is going to sit through there, like so. No, it's not. What am I talking about? What am I doing? Come on, Scott, sort it out. There we go. We go that way around. Completely the wrong way around. Right. So that's where we're going. So that goes on like that. Flip this over, and then you can see where we're going to go. And you go through here, into the metal bar there, with a single EM screw. Now I am using the 3-in-1 technique, and even though I've told you about it a million times, I'll tell you about it 1,000,001. So there's just a little pot of 3-in-1 oil there, and all I do is I just take the screw, touch it into the 3-in-1 oil, and it just eases the transition going into this thing. Don't slather in it, you don't want oil stains all over everything, but it just helps transition out. As I was saying, the holes typically don't line up, and this one is no exception to that rule. So we're going to have to get this so it does line up, because at the moment it's nowhere bloody near. Right, what's going on here? That is miles out. Miles out. So how are we ever going to get that to line up? Because that is so far out, it's untrue. I see. Okay, be careful how far you push this in then by the looks of things now. Alright, let's load that screw up again. Jeez. Yeah, this is a fiddly one. This should not be taken anywhere near as this long, so I apologise for that. But I'd rather you see what I'm dealing with, so you can preempt yourself for it. Right, that's it. So we've got the biting point, and on we go. So that's it, and that ain't going anywhere. Right, now again, when you're clamping down these plastic things, it's important to tighten them, don't over tight, because you over tighten, you start to split the plastic, and you don't want to do that. So there we are. There is our first shoulder panel of Ironman in place. We're starting to get an idea of what we're going to be looking at here. Let me zoom out a little bit for you. There we go. Okay, so you can see what's going on there. These will go over the back, but these will lift up. They make like kind of a weird air brake thing. So that's that one done. Now we're literally doing the same again within 76. Okay, so here we are with everything from part 76, exactly the same. We're just going to do the same thing, we're just doing the mirror image of it. So when we go again, hopefully these line up, because again it wasn't so bad the first time round. I think I spoke too soon. I think I've given it the large about how quick and easy this one's going to be. It looks like it's going to try and bite me in the ass now. That's okay. There we go. Right, so going nice and easy there. They're very long screws. There we go. They are stiff. They are very stiff. But again, I mean, I'm fine with that. I don't want anything on Ironman flapping about, because that doesn't strike me as cinematically accurate, you know. Bits flopping around all over the place. And then we're going to put this click to fit piece on again. I'm just going to go in there like that. She's in there for reference. Yep. So that's the right way around. Yeah, that's firm as hell, I ain't going anywhere. Right, again, we bring the chest over. So I'll zoom out again for this. So, should be a little easier this time because we've already got one in as a guide. Let's make this right out of the way. Okay, again, 3-in-1 method. No, bloody hell. I did the exact same thing on the last one. Well, they do say the definition of insanity is doing the same thing and expecting a different result, and I've literally just done that. Okay, let's hope this is lined up this time. Now that one's tough. Even with 3-in-1, this one's given some resistance. Let's try a different screwdriver. A bit more torque. Let's go then. Right. Let's fold these down. And there we have it. So we've got the shoulder plates in. I'm happy with this one. This one's loose. Going to tighten that up. But other than that, no, we're looking good. Right, let's move on to part 77. So here is the entirety of pack 77. Now all we're going to do, see if we can zoom on this. We're literally going to put that one to there. I'm going to put 2 screws in. I've got 2 RP screws in. That is it. That is it. I'd like to say there was a lot more to do, but there ain't, so I can't. So this plastic's plastic, no need to use oil. Use oil, you're going to make an oily mess. It's 1. Two goes in there. Done. I can tell you that was 50 seconds. Took me to do that one. So that was the entirety of that pack, 50 seconds. And it's done, that's complete. So what is this? Well, what this is this is going to go inside the torso over here. Let me zoom out. This is going to go inside the torso over here. And it will hold the arms. It's what our arms are going to attach to. So I can kind of loose fit it test fit it, show where I'm talking about. So this is where this is going to go. This is going to attach into here like so. So I'm going to go over, he says, we're going to go over these two pins here, and that's what's going to hold this in place. Unless I'm talking absolute nonsense, that isn't where this goes. Well, it is where this goes, I've just got the wrong way up. Christ. Hey, look, it only took 50 seconds, we can spare a little time to show you. There's where we're going to go. So that's where that is going to go. There's going to be ball joints attached to here, which we're going to build one of those in a moment. They're going to come out there, so our arm's going to attach to it. But that is ultimately where this is going to go. So that is your shoulder joint. Now, how does that screw in? That's going to be interesting, because I can't see any screw holes to hold that in place. Oh, we're going straight through. There's going to be very long screws. We're going to go straight through and screw it in, like so. Okay, that's weird, but okay. But that is ultimately where that's going to go. That's, you know, it was a 50-second build. But that's it. So now we're going to move on to the final pack of this month, which is part number 78. Okay, so here is everything we get in stage 78. Now we are going to need this part from stage 77, and what we're going to do is turning it, there is hot gaps here, you can see. It's this one we need to go for. So we want the pins going this way, and the gap here, as you can see there, facing the bottom. So that's how we know which side is which. And quite simply what we're going to do is we're going to take this section here, and you can see there's a pin, which this is only going to fit in one way. To get that pin lined up. There we are. So you hold that in place like so. Wow. See, I was going to make a blooper reel of how many times I do things like this, but then I realised a blooper reel is going to be about 12 hours long, so I decided against it. Using a single QP screw, we're going to screw this in place. Let's see if we can get the zoom and get a better look at this. There we go. Right. So there we go. Going to go in there. Now again, it's plastic to plastic, so no need to worry about 3-in-1 or anything like that. But we do want this tight, because this is going to hold the arms. So I don't want any flapping about all loose bits. Ain't tight enough for my liking. Want that tighter. That's as tight as that's going to get. There we go. Tight. Okay, so that is that held in place. Now we are going to take this little button here. Now it says note the concave side faces outwards. So that has got to drop in there like so. That's what it's saying to do. So the concave side faces outwards. So that's how that's going to go. Next thing we're going to do is going to put that to one side for now. We don't use this part, so that can sit away completely. What we're going to do with this is going to thread through here. No, it's not. Other way. So that's how we want this looking. Okay. Now all we're going to do is we're going to attach that to the shoulder joint, and this is going to use 3 LP screws. Now if this goes smoothly, I'll be just as amazed as you are, because something tells me this is going to be fiddly. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't know, man. Sometimes you can just feel it coming. So there is a lug there that's going to clip into that one up there, and this should line us up. Yeah. Yeah. This ain't never going to play ball. Let's try. No, there's no way. There's no way. Alright. So let's try that again. Let's try putting that in there. There we go. Right. This ain't playing ball. I don't know. I must have done something wrong somewhere. I can't see what though. Because just nothing's pulling tight. It's something to do with this thing. Right, let's try again. No, you have to have pause. Look what I've done wrong. I've done something wrong somewhere. Must have. Okay, I figured it out. The little concave piece that goes in there, if that's even slightly off, this is never going to happen. So what I had to do was get it perfectly central, lower it down, and then put all 3 screws in, but I put them in halfway, and then just went around, tighten each one a little bit, then eventually it pulls it right down, sits flush. Now what it does is it makes this incredibly stiff. I mean, this is ridiculously stiff. So that really does not have free movement at all, which is good, because ultimately this is what's going to hold your arms up. So you don't want that loose at all. You want that as stiff as that's going to get. If you want to pose your Ironman, you want this stiff, and this bloody is. So that ain't going anywhere. Happy with that, and that concludes all of this month. So where this will eventually go is in here, as we said before. But let's have a look at it now. We've got this part in. If we can just line that up. So that's where that's going to go. So zoom out. You get an idea of what's going on here now. So eventually, this will, it's got to be that way. This will go in there. And then our arms will attach. So that's what's going to happen. So that'll go in. Our arm's going to attach to there. Shoulder covers will cover all this over. You'll never see any of this. But it's there. So that's how we're going to do it. That's how this is going to work. So next month we're going to be adding this one to the other side as well. That'll be the first one of next month, adding this side over here. But we're making lovely progress, we really are. Let's move on to the premium stand. So here is everything in premium stand 9. Now what we have is we have this very solid metal, you can see, solid metal battery box holder. Now the battery box itself, so the battery box is going to attach to this, like so. And then we're going to attach this to the board. This is going to come out and it's going to slot into the board that we've got already on the stand. And that's it. That's all we're going to do. We're going to attach this all together. We have got, sorry, there's one other piece as well. We have got this as well, which is a support. Again, this is metal. So this will be attached in the frame as well. Now it is, right, so it is metal to metal. So 3-in-1 oil is nice. Go really light on it because this is black. You put oil smears on this, it looks horrible, right? So if you're going to 3-in-1 method this, the lightest of touches in your 3-in-1 oil. It is right. Turns out it's just me overreacting to kind of the noise of this thing pulling down, but I don't know, it doesn't sound good, does it? It sounds horrible. It's already got one in. There you go. So the noise goes. Once you've got 1 or 2 in, you stop getting that noise because it's all cracked and creaked into place. So there's those 2 in. There's those 3 in, the last one. So those are all in. Now the next thing I'm going to do is apply this little foot plate here. Where have we put that? There we go. And that's going to sit just over there. So that hole we got there, it's not going to be there anymore, but it means we're going to be able to thread the support bracket down into it. And it's not just going to go straight to the bottom, it's going to sit inside there. So that's reassuring. Again, let's hope this doesn't make all that bloody awful creaking and cracking. Okay, that's that one. One more screw. And then we're pretty much done. The only thing left to do then is just to plug the wire in. And that is going to be it. Good. Right, so that's that in. Then finally, we're just going to switch a little over to here. We're going to connect the wire. So all that's going to happen is connect the red and black cable that comes from the battery box to the circuit board in the connector marked with an A. Now, these wires aren't marked, so I would advise, if you're not hanging on to all the wiring instructions or making your own list and route of what goes where, because if later on you have to unplug anything, these cables aren't marked, so you're not going to know what came from where and what goes back where. Yep, there we have it. So that's that one in. So that is that stand done. So that's that one complete. I'm not happy with that. I'm not happy with that stand at all. At all. It strikes me as strange. Battery connectors that loose at the back, sitting next to the head of screws, connecting with the head of the screw. Now I might be wrong. It might not do anything at all. Might not affect it, but that no. So for me, I just covered the insulation tape just so it's not. We don't have metal touching metal. It shouldn't be, because that doesn't strike me as right. And then it made some awful bloody noises fitting that thing as well. Now I did see that when I went in, all it is it's swarf build up in the bottom sub, and it once you sort of crack one in place, the rest of them all sit kind of flush and nicely. But I don't know, I've just been singing its praise, and that just seemed, the quality on that seemed sketchy, but I might be wrong. I'm not worrying about nothing. We're not going to know until we get LEDs in the thing, but we will have LEDs coming next month. We are doing, so it'll be the remaining part of the right shoulder, the left shoulder, sorry. We have the wings to go onto the back of him, and I think we're going back to the pelvis. I don't know, but I know we're doing more on the chest and the shoulders next month, definitely. It's coming along quite nicely, and I mean, this is the reality of it is now we've just done 78, so we've got, what's that, 82, 86, 90, 94. We've got 4 months until he's fully built, because he's built way before 100. We then go on to build the additional pelvises and waists, so he can, and kind of abdomen to pose him. But he's built before then. I believe he's built and assembled at 96. And then after that, there's battle damage. Not doing the battle damage. Not interested in it. Not for me. Not for me, thank you. I'm just ducking out. Now, I like Ironman. I do. I don't know who I'm trying to convince there, you or me. But I do like Ironman, I do. I think it's going to be a spectacular model when he's built, and you've got a good, nearly 3 foot of Ironman standing there in kind of all of his kind of hot rod red and gold, and he's going to be a sight to behold. It's going to be a gorgeous model, it really is. It's just not, the journey's not been fun. The destination's going to be great, but the journey just wasn't worth it. Now I can't keep mentioning the those who won't be mentioned. So what I will say is, if you're watching this because you're looking around for builds to replace other builds that might currently be unavailable, what's my experience of Fanhome been? Superb. I can't fault Fanhome. I just can't. Now, I'm not paid to say this. None of my videos are monetized. I'm not sponsored by anybody. So I will always give you a very honest opinion of the company's performance. And for me, Fanhome have been flawless since I signed up with them to build Ironman, which was nearly 18 months ago, about 18 months ago. It's turned up on time every time, without fail. Without fail. It's you could set your watch by Ironman. It's turned up every single time without fail. And R2-D2 is the same. Now, I appreciate this is not everyone's experience, but it's definitely mine. And all I can do is tell you what my experience has been. And my experience has been incredibly positive with Fanhome, because I have had 3 damaged or incorrect parts on Ironman. Now, the first one was an arc reactor. Now, the arc reactor had, it was clearly paint build-up that then chipped off in transit. So there was this black mark on the arc reactor. That's not their fault. It's something that I think probably made it through quality control, then got damaged in transit. So I'm not blaming them for that at all. I messaged them. They had that to me within a week. So there was no prove it, none of that. Here you go, here's your replacement. We're sorry this happened. Bam, here's your replacement. I got it in 7 days. Fantastic. The next one I had was, I had one with the switch on the hand where it just didn't work. It was dead. I tried it with a voltage tester and everything. There was just no electrics. It just didn't work. It was dead. It was fried. Contacted them, told them, they replaced it immediately. Fantastic. Again, I can't fault that. So they sent me out the whole pack. Here you go. We're sorry. Bam. I then didn't have a problem for the next. Both of those happened in rapid succession. I was thinking, don't know about this, because the arc reactor came in I think it was the first delivery. And then in the second one with the hand, I thought, okay, we're 2 for 2 on bad parts now. You're not setting the world on fire here. Since then, nothing. I mean, I had no issues at all. The only issue I had was last month. They sent me they sent me the wrong part. It wasn't they didn't send it me. They sent me, I think they sent me 72. They sent me 71 when I should have had 70. So I never had 70, I had 71. And I contacted them and I said, look, don't send me another 71 because I don't need it. Keep that. Send me the 70 and I'll just hold on to the 71 I've got. They're like, no, we'll just send you replacements of both. So for some reason I've now got a spare 71 and they sent me the 70 as well. In 3 days, that one. That got couriered to me in 3 days. I can't fault that service. I can't, right? It's like, you're in the extreme if you're going, oh, they shouldn't turn up damaged at all. Accidents happen. I don't care how damaged a part turns up as long as the company is willing to accept that we sent you a damaged part, we're sorry, we'll replace it and we'll replace it quickly. And that's what they've done. So again, I can judge them on the quality of their service, which is fantastic. Their quality of information, which is superb. They've got a very good customer portal that tells you what has shipped. You can see what has shipped from the beginning. There are links on there to videos. There are links on there to gifts. The one thing I think people are complaining about a lot is there were issues with the R2-D2 gifts. Okay. I mean, I'm in the same boat. I've not had the R2-D2 baseball cap. I don't want it. Jack, who I'm building it with, does. I'm sure he'll get it, and if he doesn't, I'm not that bothered. As long as we can build the model, you know, the gift's the gift. I don't particularly want an R2-D2 cap, but I think as much as Jack wants it, Jack will wear it probably once or twice, never wear it again. Excuse me. So yeah, I can't fault them. I can't fault their service. I think they've been fantastic. So if you are looking around at the moment, you're thinking, I need to build something else. Fanhome, I've had no issues with them at all. I think they are superb. Again, I'm not building Knight Rider and I'm not building the Dodge Charger, so I don't know. I can't comment on those. Go and watch people that are building those and ask them how the service has been on that. I'm building R2-D2 and Ironman through Fanhome, and both have been flawless. Everything has turned up on time, every time, without fail. Without fail. Set your watch by it. So yeah, that's so would I say yes, use 100%. 100%. Based on my experience, yes, I'd use them again. I'm hoping that at least one of the models I'm looking at building after this is with Fanhome. There is a very, very large 1-to-1 scale. So a full scale replica of the Infinity Gauntlet I would like to build. There's been some problems with the production in France, so I don't know if we're going to see that or not. If we do, I hope it ends up at Fanhome, and I hope I can buy it through them, because I know that'll just be, again, it'll just be a joy. It'll just turn up on time every time, straight through it. But that's it. So that's it. That's all I've got time for this week. I hope you enjoyed your Ironman builds. I am curious if you're building one and you're doing the premium stand. Did you have the same problem I had? Are you concerned about it? How are you getting around it? Drop it in the comments and let me know if you are. Any questions I can answer for you, please, again, drop in the comments. I'll see what I can do. If you haven't yet, please give us a like. What helps us even more is subscribe. So if you've building this along with us and you're watching these videos, or you're just morbidly curious to watch a middle-aged guy build a statue of Ironman and you're watching every week, well, subscribe, and that's where you'll never miss one. Helps our channel massively, and it just helps us keep bringing you content. So yeah, please do. If you can, do. That's it for this one. In a world where you can be anything at all, just be nice, and we will see you on the next one. Thank you for stopping by.